Hey Gearheads, and welcome to Garage Talk. I'm Corey.
I'm Holly.
Back there is Tucker.
Yep, that's me.
And we're in something fun. Y'all have been wanting a Bronco again for a while. This is General...
1,000 years.
This is General Motors' answer to that, because we do have removable roof panels and kind of that same off-road vibe. But we are in a 2024 GMC HUMMER EV 3X SUV. All that to say, it's the nicest, most crazy, most insane 5-seat EV on the market today. And in this video, we'll tell you how it fits our family of 3. Stay tuned. All right, Holly, you have been wanting a Bronco. This is as close as we can get from General Motors, and it's electric, which we both know our son loves electric vehicles.
Of course I do.
But I have to ask you, what are your thoughts of the HUMMER EV?
Why do you gotta say it like that?
EV. Well, I mean, it's now an EV. It's not a gas guzzler anymore. It's an electron guzzler. But we'll get into that. We will get into that momentarily.
Well, I've really enjoyed driving this. I've wanted to drive this for a while.
Yes. I still remember the first time you saw one in person with Tucker. It was at the State Fair of Texas.
Yeah.
And y'all were all over it. And
yeah, we didn't get out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we wanted to stay. Didn't we, Mom?
Yeah, we did not want to get out of this one.
Yeah, y'all really liked the rose gold accents
the rose
inside.
gold accent.
But we'll get into the interior here in a moment. What are your thoughts on the outside of this?
Well, I love the color.
I had to pull the window sticker out to get the official name here. Tide Metallic.
Tide.
I only have one window sticker.
Yeah.
Well,
because I am going to do the class.
Yes, you are.
But not right now.
I know.
Well, I would describe the color as maybe like robin's egg blue, a little bit lighter than
Columbia
robin's egg
blue, maybe.
No.
No.
Well, what the color blue it really is called baby blue.
Yeah.
Baby blue, yeah. Which I like. What other colors do they have? Do they have?
I mean, they've got a bright orange that I test drove, really liked. There's the obvious white, black. But yes, this is the most fun.
Yeah.
This and the orange, afterburner orange.
I mean, I can always appreciate some fun colors.
All right. We're going to have to pause just a moment because we're not in our normal location, and we are already on the historic brick streets of downtown Nacogdoches, Texas.
The oldest town in Texas.
Yes.
The blueberry capital.
Your old stomping grounds through college, but I was about to ask Tucker what he thought of his wobbly head, but now we're stuck at a red light. But I'll go ahead and preface. This does have 4-corner air ride suspension. We can lift it up to like an insane 16 inches of ground clearance or drop it down for getting in and out of very easily. We just road tripped a General Motors vehicle with air ride suspension across the entire state of Texas. We really liked it. How has been your experience so far with the ride quality of this one?
I think it's been really nice, and because it's an EV, it doesn't feel heavy like you would expect it to from the outside, because it's all like big and bulky, and it's a Hummer.
I'm getting back to that heavy comment. Tucker, how is your wobbly head back there?
It's a little wobbly.
Just a little wobbly? How's yours?
It's really smooth.
All right, how heavy do you think this is?
Oh.
10,000 pounds.
Is that a lot for a car? It sounds like it's a lot.
It's like triple what you would expect a car to be.
Of course it will.
Yeah. But it doesn't drive like that.
No, for a lot of reasons, which we will dive further into. But yes, the acceleration of it definitely makes it feel much smaller. And we're going to have some fun with the acceleration here in a moment. So, sorry to get kind of out of sorts here, but you know, being not in our home turf, we're adapting here. We're being flexible. All right, so you love the color, Tide and metallic.
Yes.
What about the boxy look of it?
I like the boxy look of it because it's not a box.
Right.
It's got enough curves going on.
Well, without the spare tire and without the wheels and ever tires. Well, and also
The grill?
in the grill,
Mm.
it would definitely look like a box.
Yeah.
Yeah, without those things, yeah, it would. But yeah, it has enough curves and stuff that it gives it an interesting look and not like a refrigerator box, which I like. So to me, this is a very stout car.
Yes.
And I like that.
Okay. You mentioned some of the curves on the outside. The wheels stick out and are accentuated with fender flares. Do you know why they stick out in all four places?
Is it for off-roading?
Yes, but four-wheel steering. So you mentioned how this doesn't drive like a big vehicle. The back wheels actually turn as well, making this turn sharper than, of all things, a Ford Mustang Mach-E.
Oh, well, I would naturally try to compare this to the Ford Mustang Mach-E.
I know, right?
Yeah.
But looky here, we
Look.
found a dead end and you're able to very easily maneuver on the massive 22-inch wheels and tires on this vehicle. So while we're still talking about the exterior design, what are your thoughts on the big wheels and tires on this?
I like them.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay.
I like the look of them.
Yeah.
And like I said, I haven't had any problems driving it.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't feel like you're driving a big car until you try to park it. Or you're going down a narrow street such as this.
Yes. So yes, there are pros and cons to some of its features and attributes. But yeah, very like slab-sided, but everything in here is angular and straight, and everything out there is like flat, angular, straight. But yes. Moving inside, what are your thoughts in here?
I love the interior.
Yeah. Is it because of the rose gold?
I love the rose gold. I like the cream accent, or the cream, not really accent, but color. I like the black. I like the
type of material.
Texture. So yeah, I love the interior. The seats are comfortable. They're air conditioned.
Yes.
Which I've used many times.
Yes. Which, okay, so I've been joking about the Bronco in this video. We have removable roof panels. They're 4 independent panels, so they're easier to remove. You can store them under the front trunk there. All of that is Bronco-esque, but this beats the Bronco, especially here in Texas, with the ventilated seats. You could take the top off and not sweat your booty off.
Sweat your booty off. I will say that one thing that this interior could benefit from is the pedals coming to you. Because I do feel like to reach the pedals for me, I'm having to sit up on top of the dashboard. That's the only thing I don't like.
Yeah, while I was off-road testing this, you typically want to see up and over in the corners and stuff. So I moved myself a whole lot closer for off-road testing. I was curious. I was like, I'm going to put myself in Holly's seating position because 2-person memory seats. Yeah, you were still closer than that for me. Like, I was like, oh gosh. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't want to be that close, but I have to be able to reach, especially the gas pedal.
Okay. Okay.
So I could afford to be.
Yeah, you're short. You are kind of a short person.
Yeah.
Because this, my knees are a little too close to the
dashboard.
Yeah. For my liking. Really?
While we're still on the brick streets down here, and while we're talking about styling per se, this does again have those 22-inch wheels and tires. Have you noticed a little rattle and creaking and noise in this on these brick streets?
Yeah, I mean, I guess.
We've got that big tire hanging off the back that's making the back hatch make a little noise. We've got all these removable roof panels making a little noise, and the fact that there's less sidewall because of the big wheels. I don't know. You can get an extreme off-road package, which has a smaller wheel, same size tire overall, but more rubber. I think that would be the way to go. This feels like
you're talking about like what you're driving on, I guess?
Yes.
Okay.
This feels like the spiritual successor to the H2, that 90% of those were blinged out and were basically on-road princesses and not really Hummers per se. They weren't really off-road vehicles.
Oh, I got mud in my tire.
Yeah. I got dirt in my rims.
Dirt in my rims. That's what he said.
Yes.
Dirt in my rims.
I feel like with the off-road package, like this is more traditional Hummer. I have a whole off-road video.
So is this the off-road?
No, this is not the off-road. But I feel like every Hummer should be an off-road Hummer because it's a Hummer.
But, so you think the off-road tires would be better as a daily driver?
Yes, because there's more rubber sidewall than these 22s and the narrow rubber sidewall on the tires here. Same overall tire package, it's just less wheel, more tire.
Okay.
And what do we know about rubber versus metal? Rubber gives, metal does not.
Metal does not.
So yeah.
Okay.
All right, further thoughts, interior in here. You like the design, you like the materials, you like the colors.
There's lots of little storage spaces.
Tons, including...
As you said, I've moved into that side.
You truly have moved in over here. We are on a across East Texas road trip.
Yeah.
Around 250 miles in total. And yes, you've moved in over here.
I moved in.
100%. And we've got stuff in here too. So, yeah.
And I like the little shelf.
There's a little shelf in here. This stays where we put it, which is kind of nice. I like that. You don't have to worry about it flopping down. But lots of storage in here. Oh my gosh, you have moved in.
I told you I moved in.
So. Nary a gloss black plastic in here, so I like that.
BTW, that's my purse in there.
Yes, her purse fits in the center.
Fits in there. I love it.
All right, we have to talk about infotainment and switches because you've already commented on infotainment and switches to me.
Yeah, don't you love this big screen?
I do.
So why is the screen this big?
So yeah, she is referring to the fact that CarPlay fills up a very small portion of this giant screen, which I guess we should be grateful because this is one of very few General Motors electric vehicles that still allows CarPlay. So, pro tip, if you like EVs, you like General Motors, and you love CarPlay, get a Hummer EV.
There you go.
In this, you can actually swipe through different things and, you know, see different additional features, including your pitch and roll over the clock. But yeah, a bit odd, but you've got a bunch of shortcuts in here, like your cameras, which General Motors allows you to do at speed. I love how you can look at all different angles in this. You can look at your front tires, your back tires. I see all 4 door handles. That's pretty cool. Trailer hitch, whatever the case may be. I really like the cameras in this. Very big infotainment screen, though CarPlay, as you pointed out, very tiny here. What are your thoughts on all the toggle switches?
So I have been driving this a lot in the dark, and there are no lights for the buttons.
The actual toggle switches? The actual
toggle switches. There are up here on the screen, but which makes it look like you can punch those, but you can't. And so then in the dark, you're having to be like, okay, now where is the up and down, and where is the, which ones go up, which ones go down, because there's no lights.
And then the seat heat and ventilation, you hit the button and then it makes these 2 buttons
come out. So it's not like the button is always right under what it's supposed to be under.
Very interesting.
So it is, and even after I said that, so the first time I drove it was in the dark, and I was like, well, this is confusing. I can't, and I was like, well, maybe it's because it's just the first time I drove it, and I was confused because I thought you could press these buttons. but I've driven it twice since then in the dark, and it's still confusing.
Yeah, I can see where in the dark where you cannot see these black toggles at all.
At all, you can't see. You're just feeling around in the dark.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, just feeling around in the dark like I'm doing right now.
What are your thoughts? You've already mentioned lots of storage in here. Center console, we've got under storage down here. We've got a Qi wireless charger right here, which I'll go ahead and put your phone in right there.
Nice.
Cup holders under a little panel here. Lots of storage here. Works for you?
It works for me.
Yeah.
I like it. I moved in. I liked it so much I moved in.
There's tons of space in here. This thing is massive. Which translates nicely to Tucker. He's got plenty of room back there, but we'll go ahead and put in his child safety seat. Then we're going to talk front and rear storage. The back seat of this vehicle is pretty much just as insane as the front. We've got all the same materials back here, but nice like handheld or pistol grip here on the door. That's really cool. Built-in cup holder, which is very nice. A little bit of storage here. That lunar topography on the grille cover and on the rubberized floor mats back here. I do have a B-pillar mounted handle. I've got steps here on the outside. The vehicle is lowered down to its entry exit ride height, so that is very nice. Go ahead and close the door here. Get comfortable. You can see I've got plenty of room sitting behind myself. I've got tri-zone climate controls back here. I've got a heated outboard seats, which is very nice. Air vents on the back of the center console. USB-A and USB-C power, rubberized textured storage underneath the center console here, map pockets, all kinds of stuff. Fold down center armrest with a couple cup holders, plenty of room for 3 car seats or 3 adults back here. So yes, a very comfortable back seat, and something that other GM vehicles do not allow you to do, aside from the Corvette, is you can pull a couple latches and remove the roof. So very easy, much like a Ford Bronco or a Jeep Wrangler, to remove the roof panels. 4 separate panels, all of those store up in the front trunk. We'll talk about that here in just a moment. But you came here to see a child seat installation, and I will go ahead and grab Tucker's Graco Extend-A-Fit child safety seat. This is the same one he rode in when he was rearward facing, and as you can see, like any full-size GM SUV, Suburban, Yukon, Escalade, whatever, plenty of room here, even with the seat upright right here. These seats do recline a skosh, but not a whole lot. You can see the difference in the two right there. Go ahead and flip this around, drop the top tether back behind, worry about that in a moment. And then the lower latches are only on the 2 outboard seats, but they are pretty easy to find and access. And thanks to the step on the outside of the vehicle, even though this thing is lowered all the way down to its lowest ride height, it would still be a little interesting to get in and truly snug this down. But actually getting in here, there is plenty of room to move around, so I like that a lot. Now for the part that I may not like so much, putting in that top tether in the back. All right, we are behind the GMC HUMMER EV SUV. And you may be wondering, well, how in the world do we get this thing open? We have this massive wheel tire on the back. And yes, it is not a lift gate. You would be foolish to think so, but there is a button hidden right there. You can push, and it is a power swing gate, but boy, is it massive. So better be sure you're not backed into a parking spot or parked close to anybody, because yeah, you're not gonna be getting into the back of your vehicle if you do. And then you can see here, no third row in this vehicle, though it is on a platform that could support it. The Escalade IQ is slated to have an optional third row of seats if you don't get that super executive package or whatever they're going to end up branding it. But you can see nice big cargo area as far as size, length, not the best. It's a little on the short side with that low roof line there. So the numbers aren't quite what I thought they would be compared to like a Tahoe, Yukon, Suburban, whatever. But we do get a little bit of storage underneath here for some additional things. We do have power outlet back here. We've got a little storage in the side there. Your jack is hidden in here. You can release and fold the second row seat, so you really can add to the space in your vehicle. But as I mentioned earlier, this is the part I like the least. about putting in child safety seats in big vehicles, because I have to cross that giant barrier right there to be able to actually tighten down that top tether. So yes, climbing in the back to tighten this down. It's going to be a two-handed operation, so I'll get it truly snugged up after I'm done filming. But you can see it doesn't look like we're going to be causing any long-term damage to the seating material here, so that is good. But yes, I had to climb in and get in here just to tighten that down. So that is a slight demerit on ease of installation, I will say. Especially even though this is at its lowest ride height, it's a little tough to get into it. But there you go, there's the rear storage. And when I went to close that back, you just push the button there, it beeps at you so you don't get shut in the process. Now, there is still one more bit of storage up front that I do want to show you. Yes, I'm around front. You knew it was coming. It's an electric vehicle. I'll show you the key here. We can get into the back from the key fob, but we can also get into the front. You have to double press it and hold it on the second time. It lights up a few times to let you know it's going to open. I'm still holding it. You have to hold it for the hood to raise itself. It's not like a Ford F-150 Lightning, but there you go. There is your front storage. And you can see we do have these storage bags for the roof panels. So if I wanted to take all 4 roof panels off, boom, that is where they go. They fit nicely, very well engineered for that. And then you can see we've got just a little bit of plastic covering up the side here, including a place to top off your washer fluid. I don't see any buttons anywhere around up front here, but if I want to close that back, there is a button inside, or I can just double press, hold that, and it'll come back down when it wants to. It helps if you actually do what it wants it to at the first time. So yeah, double press, hold it on the second time, and it will come down very nicely and let you know when it's done with the lights.
There's a truck and a
Oh goodness. But yes, big enough for all 4 panels. There are some storage bags in there for the panels, or your groceries, whatever the case may be. Because the rear cargo section, while it is large, for this vehicle, it's actually kind of small. The roofline kind of tapers back there. Yeah. Okay. Compared to like a Tahoe, which this, in theory, is the same size as. Smaller than a Tahoe because no third row. And like, again, the roofline tapers, so the height back there is kind of short.
Interesting.
But what does this do?
It rolls down the window.
Oh, roll down back window. I like that. How else can you roll down that back window? Yeah, there's a tube button over her left knee. Tube button is what Tucker and I call it. But yes, power drops all the windows. Yeah. So that's nice if you want to get all the air out in a hurry.
So the panels that come off are easier to take off and store than a Bronco, right?
So much easier, yes. One latch here.
Do you think I could take them off myself?
Yes.
Are they super heavy?
Let's cut to you taking them off right now.
Okay.
And she's doing this all in a dress, ladies and gentlemen. And all 4 of them actually fit up here in the front trunk. They do have 2 storage bags. They're felt lined, but yeah, they all fit under here nicely. If you pack them just right, we'll close it down. Have a top-free experience in your Bronco, in your GMC Hummer. Here at highway speed, we're getting a little wind noise up at the front. So,
but it's not overpowering.
Right. Some trade-offs to the cool removable roof feature.
Right.
But they are plastic panels for lightweight. These are very dark, not see-through, but you can get transparent blue ones, which makes everything in here look blue, which is odd.
I'm not sure I like that.
Go check out our second channel where Eric and I drove one with blue panels. We're like glowing blue Smurfs. It's odd. So we've talked interior, we've talked exterior. We've alluded a lot to how it drives. We've talked about its suspension, but dive into it. You said it does not feel heavy. from a driving perspective.
Not at all. It does not feel heavy.
Yeah, very quick acceleration, very light steering.
Almost too light of steering for me. Every once in a while, it's a little floaty.
Okay.
Not the ride, but the steering wheel.
Okay, very interesting. And now would be a good time to cut to you doing some of the fun features that the four-wheel steering in this allows, including crab walk.
Oh, thanks, sir.
All right, Holly, we've been fed a lot of Hummer commercials here lately through the interwebs. And the feature they have shown off the most is this button right here, crab walk. You push and hold and hold and hold and hold and hold. And now it is activated. You've got a little crab there on your gauge cluster. We can see the back wheels here from our side cameras. But I want you to just start moving forward and turn the wheel left or right and see what happens. Give it a little accelerator if you want to. Are we turning or are we crab walking?
I guess we're crab walking.
How does it feel? Does it feel trippy?
It feels a little weird. What if I wanted to turn?
You
Ooh,
just
it does feel.
Yeah.
It kind of feels like you're in sand.
Yeah.
You know, like.
Kind of like you're drifting in sand. If you turn it hard all the way, it will actually
turn.
Yeah.
But I wonder how crabs turn.
So it does this by
How do crabs turn?
the crabs just walk. So it does this by turning all four wheels in the same direction. Normally the four-wheel steering at low speed, they turn it opposite, so you just kind of pivot, which makes such a good turning radius. And then at high speed it does this naturally on its own. But crab walk is unique in that you can select it at low speed. And now we're back to normal steering. We're pretty close to the curb here, but give it a hard turn and just see how tight of a donut you can do.
Tight?
Pretty tight.
Yeah, it is so
I've done
maneuverable.
some U-turns in the city and have been
very
pleasantly surprised.
All right, so there you go. Crab walk. Pretty cool feature, right?
Yeah, so what would you use that feature for?
If you came up to something and like...
Other than party tricks.
It's a little bit of a party trick, but if you came up to an obstacle and you had to get around it, the commercial shows going down an alley and there's a dumpster, you crab walk around it and go. The idea translates into off-road as well. If there's something right in front of you, you just need to get over, but turning isn't really the answer. Crab walk.
Interesting.
Very maneuverable, though maybe too light a steering on highway jaunts.
Just a little bit.
Very easy to accelerate, and that is a good segue into Watts to Freedom, or WTF road. Yeah, that
What
face.
the?
We'll make you experiment with that just a little bit. Watts to Freedom is their fun acronym for going very fast.
Tickled my booty.
Yep, so you push the traction control button twice, we get this launch pad on the moon. It's telling you what to do right here, check your surroundings, yada, yada, yada. The vehicle's actually lowering down, lower than it normally sits for getting in and out. It still says it's lowering. When it gets done, it's gonna tell you there on the screen exactly
I can see the horizon.
what you have to do. So it says brake harder.
Brake harder.
Now floor it. Oh my goodness. Oh,
what was that?
It was my phone. My goodness. Woo! It'll do 0 to 60 in 3.5 seconds. 10,000 pounds.
3.5 seconds.
10,000 pounds going 0 to 60 in 3.5 seconds.
Did it feel like 3.5 seconds, Tucker?
I mean, do we need to do it one more time? All right, one more go of it.
What do you think, T-Man?
You ready?
I'm ready.
Brake harder, floor it.
Oh, now floor it? I got nervous.
That was only for a little bit.
That
I
is
know, I
Watts
got
to
nervous.
Freedom. Do you want to do it one more time?
No,
or are you done?
I'm good.
All
I'm
right.
good.
No, I'm taking her out.
Taking me out.
All right.
Normal mode.
Yeah, back to normal. You like the style, you like the roof, you like the interior, you love the colors. Inside, outside, doesn't matter. Rides well, doesn't feel nearly as heavy as it is. But little light on the steering, very interesting features with crab walk and watts to freedom. Any other thoughts before Tucker finally gets to tell us the price?
Well, it is big.
Yes. Doesn't quite fit in our garage unless you have a spotter. And you shouldn't have to need a spotter to fit your own garage. Though we have 2 single bay doors, so.
Yeah. It is cumbersome to park because of its size.
That's interesting that you say that, because I feel the 4-wheel steering and the cameras really help.
I have a hard time finding the cameras. When when I am parking, I'm usually not reviewing a car.
Right.
I am trying to pop in someplace quick. I don't have time to like dig through the camera 2, 3. I have not been able to find the camera at all.
Okay. You hit the Hummer, you hit the camera. Future reference.
Okay, see? That's not immediately...
Yeah. GM, quit burying stuff in the menu.
Quit burying stuff.
Give us a physical button. There's plenty of room.
Whatever truck we just had it right here, and that's where I keep going. And then I'm like, it's not right there. That was so convenient.
Yeah.
Do that, because I don't have time. When I'm trying to park, I'm trying to make sure I'm not running over someone. I'm trying to get in the lines. Sometimes I have Tucker in the car talking to me. Like, I don't have time to figure out where the click 2 buttons to do it. I just want to like reach down here, right where my thumb is, click it, and it's there. So that's one of the things with parking, because I needed the camera pretty much every time I parked to make sure I was in the line.
Well, there you go. While we're still talking about the screens, my goodness, here she goes. Here she goes. Look at her go. While we're talking about the screen and the acceleration, there are 5 different drive modes in this, and they hired computer or video game artists to render all these different screens. Here in normal mode, we're on the moon. In my mode, we're going through like NASA. In off-road, we're on Mars, so that's pretty cool. And then in terrain mode, we're back on the moon. And then tow haul mode, which it keeps wanting to go back to normal. In tow haul mode, we're pulling an Apollo 5 rocket. So that's
look
pretty
at that.
Awesome. But we'll put it back in
So how much can you tow with this thing?
You can tow quite a bit, you just can't tow very far, because as we learned, 314 miles on a full charge does not translate to 314 miles in reality. We traveled just over 100 miles and used about 130 of your range. So we are currently getting 1.3 miles per kilowatt hour, which is pathetic. This drinks electrons, as we say. It is just as efficient as a gas guzzling Hummer, just with a different source of fuel.
Yeah.
But yes, the EPA rates it at 63 miles per 100 kilowatts, which is around like 1.4 miles per kilowatt hour, 1.5. Still not great.
Yeah, I'm going to be killing it here because speed limit's 75 and I'm going to go 75.
Yeah. All right, Holly, Tucker's got the window sticker. He's dying to tell you the price. Care to guess?
Woo, 87.
Nope.
No, higher.
Oh, way higher?
Yeah.
97?
No.
Higher than that.
Even higher than that? Ooh, does it break into the 6 figures? Ooh, 103?
Nope.
Higher than that?
Yeah.
Ooh.
That what me do it.
Okay.
120?
So what is it, Tucker?
Higher or lower?
Why don't you go ahead and tell her?
$107,000.
107?
$107,610, yes.
Ooh.
It's a pretty penny. But with that, you get the adaptive ride.
It's very high.
Yeah.
That is very high.
But with that, you get 4-wheel steering, adaptive air ride suspension, We didn't even talk about Super Cruise. We have a whole video of you using Super Cruise in a Suburban.
Yeah.
We get the all-electric platform. We get the removable roof. There's some things you get for it. Heated and ventilated seats, which we love.
You can't drive it very far. You can't tow anything.
Yeah.
Don't have a third row.
So your attitude's telling me we're not buying one?
Now, you find that money on that money tree.
And on that note, if you want to see more from Holly from Tucker's and behind the scenes, you can find her at Female Consumer on Facebook and Instagram. Find all things GT Garage Talk at GT Garage Talk. Facebook, Instagram, X, TikTok, Threads, YouTube, you name it, all at GT Garage Talk. Be sure and hit that subscribe button down below, ring the bell, check out some other videos from us, including me and my buddy Eric taking this one off-road just to see what exactly it's like on those 22-inch wheels. And what from you, Tucker?
Don't forget on some ever videos, me and Ollie will be in some too.
Yeah, and there's even a video, if you can find it, without me, just Holly and Tucker. But until next time, gearheads, bye.
Bye.
Is everybody ready?
I'm ready. I'm not ready. Okay, I'm ready.
Ready?
Okay, I gotta tell a story first.
Okay.
One day, the end.
Oh,
Oh boy.
I never thought that story was going to end.
All right, here we go.